Hi, it's Peg and Des on
Princesses Long Island.
Okay, Chanel. Thoughts?
Chanel at the bridal salon was sad for me, not because Chanel isn't married, but because her mother chose that period of time to engage in some of the most egregious nagging I have seen from one human being to another. I couldn't quite understand what that lady's motivation was. Was Chanel supposed to go in the bathroom and find a husband, bring him back out, announce that she's now engaged and try on a wedding dress along with her sister? The woman was just getting on my nerves, and I'm not even in the situation.
Well, here's the thing. So clearly this show is centered around the pressure that a certain type of girl gets from her family to get married.
Yes.
We saw two different types of, well, actually we saw a few different kinds of that pressure applied this week, right? We saw Chanel and her mother with making a girl try on a wedding dress, just being
just
heinous.
going in. Like, I know you ain't got nobody, but go in there and put that dress on,
right,
and come out, stand next to your sister who does have somebody, so we can compare you lonely and
right,
then you with someone. It just got worse and worse.
Right, and maybe this will inspire you to do something. And then we also saw Erica's father sit on her bed and have a conversation with her about the same topic.
Right.
And I thought it was a very interesting conversation. It was very mature. It was like, look, you don't really seem like a career girl type. And while you are welcome to live here as long as you like. And I like what she said, well, I like living here. He says, yeah, I do too. But still.
I actually forgot about that conversation, but
great.
I thought the way that he brought it up was also interesting when he said, are you coming into the office? You know, are you going to come in, do a little work for me, do a little volunteering?
Yes.
But you earn some of the food and the Coke you snort around here. So I completely understood.
Yes, and she was like, work,
allegedly.
Beach, work, beach. And I was like, look, bitch, I'd like to go to the beach too, but I have to work.
But she doesn't.
I guess.
She doesn't. She got that life.
Well, bully for you, Erica, bully for you. So then let's move on to the speed dating, and so
let's just talk about how Chelsea might be the most bitter, frustratingly ridiculous person on this entire program.
Okay,
yet she thinks she's fly.
Well, first of all, she's very pretty, so we know that.
I don't see that.
I can't. Honestly, I kind of saw both sides this week. I saw Joey's side, and I saw Ashley and Chelsea's side. I do have to say, though, I found Joey to be very annoying and unlikable this episode. And so I could understand Ashley and Chelsea's behavior, although I thought it was very childish of them to simply stop speaking to her as soon as she behaved in a manner
like
that
pretending
they didn't
like the
agree
girl
with.
wasn't even there. I mean, Ashley's ordering drinks from the waitress,
Right.
and then doesn't even order any for Joey. It just was so elementary school.
Yes.
And I think I was actually more understanding of Ashley having a problem with Joey than I was with Chelsea.
Right. Yes.
Because that was a problem that I understood. I just felt like Chelsea was just piling on and an opportunity to be her usual bitter self.
Very true.
And so
Very true.
I wasn't even rocking with Chelsea through that. But Joey was the epitome of inappropriate. So here's one question I do have for the woman who ran that speed dating event. Where did you find those men?
I know, they got the worst collection of dweebs, losers, geeks in Long Island.
Let me tell you, if Bravo came to me, or I had some girls coming to me to do taping for Bravo at an event that I'm doing, and speed dating is my business, I would have planted the hottest Jewish souls I could have possibly ever found at those tables.
I thought it was good.
Terrible PR for her.
It gave me like confidence that I've been right all these years to never attend a speed dating event. Because if that's the caliber of men that I'm going to meet,
I mean, they were all some of them were just hard to look at. I had to close my right eye on some of them.
I'd rather just sit at home on a Saturday night with a pint of ice cream, watching Princesses Long Island, than going on a speed dating event, even for 5 minutes, talk to some of those geeks. So yes, I mean, that was Joey's position. She took one look around the room, she was like, I know, thank you. And so she was
but there's a way to be playful without being embarrassing. She asked one guy about how big his penis is.
Yeah, she was very inappropriate.
And not only inappropriate, she was making the people she was talking to uncomfortable.
Right.
So it wasn't even, I'm just being playful because you're the ugliest person I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
It was more like, I'm going to make you uncomfortable because you're the ugliest person I've seen in my life.
Yes, she absolutely sort of didn't care about the fact that they might be sincerely there to meet someone.
Right.
And, you know, took advantage of that situation. So, yeah, Joey doesn't win an award. Nobody wins any awards this week. I did feel badly that Chanel was so heartbroken and so devastated over what was going on with her sister that she couldn't even make the event, and she'd been the one to plan to go and needs to be
I just
there.
felt like that was her having something else to do.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So Ashley actually got a date out of this speed dating event, which shocked me. Of all those girls to get a date, it's Ashley. Of course, her date was, I mean, let's face it, let's not kid ourselves, it's smacked of producer setup.
Yes.
They found a guy that, I mean, at first I thought, okay, I should give this guy a chance. She started out the date, she was already kind of giving a little bit of stank attitude, but I was like, give the guy a chance. But no, by the end of the date, I was like, yeah, no,
She hated his high laugh.
His high laugh was really, honestly, terrible. Like, imagine a lifetime of listening to the man you're married to doing that at the end of everything.
But I didn't think that he was laughing because he thought it was fun. Anything was funny. He seemed like he was laughing out of nervousness.
He was nervous.
Maybe she wouldn't have to listen to that for the rest of her life. But on his side of the table, imagine being with a 3'2" woman you'd have to carry everywhere. There's trade-offs, folks.
There's
trade-offs.
There's some advantages to that as well. So Ashley strikes out from the speed dating. Let's get to the big event of this episode.
The kinky sleeve party.
The kinky sleeve party. Okay. Now, first of all, let's backtrack. Okay.
Right.
When you said kinky sleeve,
K-I-K-N-Y. Oh, excuse me, K-I-N-K-Y. Kinky
sleeve. I went with it. I ran with it because clearly I had not paid attention to what the thing was called at all. I thought it was the dumbest product I've ever seen in my life. And so I'm like, yeah, kinky sleeve.
We're here just talking about the kinky sleeve.
Then yesterday, I believe, you said, I made a huge mistake. The thing's actually called a hanky sleeve.
H-A-N-K-Y.
Right. So I'm like, oh, right. You're right. Then I watched the episode and they're like, it's the drink sleeve party. No, I'm sorry. What is it? The hanky drink. No, oh, God.
The hanky sleeve.
Drink hanky. That's what it's called. It's called the drink hanky.
Well, where did we get sleeve from?
I don't know. We made that up.
Did we make that up too? Okay, so not only was I wrong about it being kinky versus hanky, I added a sleeve in there?
Yes. The thing is called that.
Let me just tell you, this just demonstrates how poorly your product is marketed.
Exactly.
Because I have messed your ish up all the way around. It's not memorable.
It's terrible. It's the worst name ever. And you can pretty much interchange the two terms in there with any old word you want.
The guy that decided to host the party was a salon owner.
Yes.
And he hosted the party clearly for the purpose of promoting his salon on Bravo.
Yes.
Because as you looked at the step and repeat in front of the red carpet, it was nothing but big logos of his salon and drink hanky written in size 15 font at the very bottom.
Yes.
So he was promoting, but what I thought was especially disgusting is when Bravo panned the camera to the washing bowls where people get their hair done, and there were drinks and ice sitting in them. I looked at that and I said to myself, that's a drink I just don't want.
That didn't work for you?
I don't even want a kinky sleeve around that. I thought it was filthy.
So the kinky sleeve party starts off good. Erica's there with Rob. I mean, Erica she seems like she wants to roll with Rob less and less. Let's not forget, she gone clubbing with Joey sans Rob.
Yes.
And proceeded to hit on basically every man in the club.
But Erica is an excellent girl to go out with when you want to meet somebody.
Joey go out with you, Erica.
Joey said to her, I want to meet somebody. Erica walked into that establishment. They had a little bite to eat. Joey was ready to plant herself in that lawn chair for the rest of her life. Erica said, let's do some laps.
Yes.
They got up, they hit the beat, and Erica started acting like Miss America, and she worked that room. She was talking to men who were attractive, who were unattractive, who had great bodies, who had no bodies.
She had something to say to everybody.
It's a numbers game. And Erica recognizes that. And, her conversation may not be ready for NPR, but that doesn't matter in the club. It doesn't matter. And so Joey was trying to act like she was embarrassed by her. And I said, well, this is what you told the girl you wanted to do. She's introducing you to people. This right here is how you find yourself by yourself.
Well, this is why I don't like Joey, because she's very inconsistent.
Yes.
She will 1 minute be Miss Prim and Proper,
yes.
can't talk to men this way.
And then ask you to pull your dick out at the table and speed dating.
Right. I think that she has a prejudice just for, like, ugly guys. Ugly guys you can treat like dirt. Anyone with potential, you need to be very respectful around. So,
Eric is equal opportunity.
Right. You could go sit down, Joey, as far as I'm concerned. So, Rob is actually showing up at the... And also, by the way, I think Rob wants to make sure that he knows where Erica is at all times. He needs to keep tabs on her.
He's an ankle bracelet.
He wants to put a bracelet on her. So he's finally I get to come to something with this girl and see what she's up to, which is fine. Everybody starts out dancing beautifully. You know, Amanda's like, she's like boogieing on the dance floor. You have her dorky boyfriend is there.
Yes.
Everyone's having a great time. And then somehow Chanel gets involved in some kind of fight with a wildebeest of a woman. I mean, did you see the size of that woman?
Well, Chanel's already a tall girl,
yes.
And then she was wearing heels, and then, well, at least Chanel looks like a tall girl on the show, but I think
yes.
she is. And the woman, and Chanel had on heels, and the woman was even taller than Chanel in her heels. But here's the thing. I do not believe that woman threw a drink on Chanel. What I believe, no, I don't believe that. What I believe is that Chanel is drunk, and she is dancing wildly, and I think that either that lady is doing the same and bumped into her and she got wet, or there was some sort of misunderstanding. But based on the way Chanel looked, first of all, her dress was not wet. No part of her body was wet.
That's
she
true.
didn't have anything in her hair. She wasn't wiping herself off. How is somebody throwing drinks and ice at you if you have no indication that anyone threw anything? I think it was a genuine mistake, and I think Chanel just went buck wild. And I think that a lot of that buck wildness came from the fact that she's just under so much pressure right now, and it's just like you're stressed out. Something happens, and you just pop off. You get turned up for no reason. So I believe Chanel was turned up.
Okay, well, you might be a better investigative journalist than I is. I was convinced that there was some backstory why this girl is after Chanel.
Oh.
Poor Chanel, because I like Chanel. I don't want to think of her as a drunken idiot. I thought her friends were being mean when they didn't believe the story, but you're also sort of explaining some very good reasoning why that girl probably just bumped into Chanel and Chanel went buck wild.
That seemed to me like all that was. And then let us not forget that Ashley and Joey proceeded to engage in an unnecessary fight as an offshoot of the main fight.
Right.
Where Ashley was trying to tell everybody needs to go outside. I told you to go outside, Joey. And Joey refused to go outside. And so then ensued another argument.
Well, I liked her when what did she call her? She said, boss mama. What was she? She said, excuse me, mama boss, or...
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I can't quite remember what she called her. And Ashley took great offense to it too, like it was a really bad name.
She was like, "Don't ever call me that. Don't ever."
So clearly the two of them just won't get along in life.
And that storyline. I feel like is brewing. There's gonna be more arguments.
Yes.
To come from those two.
Yes.
I feel.
So that was pretty much the episode of Princesses Long Island.
Don't forget, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Twitter @PeganDez.
Don't forget to watch our videos on Love and Hip Hop and Mistresses. And we, of course, will be back for more Princesses Long Island next week.
Bye.